Now this is actually our main page of the software. It's a little bit unique in a way that it's not like other softwares where you see a general page where you log in, and you punch your numbers in and then you'll be able to see a page. For us, a little bit different. You see 4 sections. You see orders, management, setup, and reports. Now when it comes to management, it's basically general management functions, whether it be adjusting employee hours, adding employees, different things like that, doing payouts. Now when it comes to setup, it's more like setting up your system in terms of hardware options, the way things look, so that it matches your business. And also reports. When it comes to reports, it's like report emailing, what kind of reports you need, and looking up reports at the same time. Now on the bottom, you will see drawer in, drawer out. You also have the option to see log in and log out. What that basically means is a login mode is more like I work behind the bar. I'm kind of responsible for this register, or usually there's only one cashier, and that cashier is kind of responsible. And the cashier doesn't want to keep punching their numbers in every time they're doing a transaction. So it kind of bothers them to keep doing that. So that's why that option is there, so you can just log in and go ahead with the system. Now when it comes to drawer in and drawer out, it's more like you have one bank where multiple people share it, so they will still be punching their numbers in because you want to know who's using the register and making certain payments. But in terms of the actual drawer, it's actually one bank and one drawer. Now the time clock is also available. The reason why the time clock is there also is, of course, people can clock in, clock out. But when it comes to server banking, we make it very simple. All they need to do is clock in to draw in, to basically Z in, and clock out to Z out. So I'll actually show you right now. We're actually going to go into server mode, server banking here. I press my code. I click clock in. It prints my receipt. And then when I'm finished, all I need to do is, it'll ask me to draw out before clock out, and it'll print my report like such, as you can see. And it'll print, of course, my time clock sheet, how many hours I worked, etc. That's totally optional. You can have it print. The drawer out receipt will print. The ZOP report will print, but printing other reports such as time sheets is optional. But of course, I recommend printing them all out because it makes it much simpler. So if you actually see, you'll see a clock in receipt, and you will see a drawer in receipt, letting them know that they are drawer in currently. Now, let's get into the main functions of it. Let's go into orders. Now in the orders, as you see, there are 5 sections. You see there's table, bar tab, takeout, delivery, and quick order. Now let's start with quick order because it's a little bit simple to start with quick order. What quick order means, it's more like if you have a quick serve restaurant, or you have a quick serve retail area where you want to just quickly sell, like for instance, poke places, a lot of teriyaki places, burger places, pizza places, you name it. Places that are more like not really sit down, but you carry your food, you eat it right there. Those places are perfect for these options. Now looking at our layout, you'll see our categories on the top. We have sandwich, French fries, chicken, salads, breakfast, desserts, beverages. You can of course add as many items as you want, and as many categories as you want, depending on what your business, how many your business needs. Now, when it comes to sandwiches, very simple. You can click on an item. Now, if you need anything with modifiers, you'll see it pop up automatically, like for a crispy chicken. You can even have prices on any of the modifiers. You can also have any memos, custom memos, like you want it with mayo. You can also have it with mayo. Now, one of the cool parts is if you want to charge, if someone wants extra pickles, and you want to charge, let's just say $1.50, you can even on the fly have it charge. So if you see, as with mayo and extra pickles, so it's something that you can actually add on the fly. Now this really helps because a lot of restaurants aren't able to add certain things on the fly. They usually have to do like an open memo or open item, and even the open memo is like it doesn't have a price attached to it, so they ended up adding it as an item, so it really doesn't look right. So it's very difficult. But for us, we actually have memos you can add at the spot. Well, I'll go over that. We also have a quantity plus down button, as you see right here. And we also have options like discounts. So you can always, of course, discounts require a manager code. So let's just do a manager code. You're able to apply $10 or $1 off, whichever discount you want. Or you'll be able to change the quantity right here. If somebody wants 20 of this item, you can add 20. If somebody wants, and if they ordered 20, you want to give them a little bit of, special price. Like if you order 20, I'll give you for $50. Then you need manager approval. You'll just say price change as bulk order or something like that. So now you have a bulk order discount that because they ordered 20 crispy chickens, and you'll be able to customize that. Now, one of the cool parts is you're able to have different functions that are under more, so that it doesn't really take up all this space over here. So any options like exempting tax, working with labels, holding an entire order, merging orders, special pricing, maybe anything to do with service charge, tips, things that you won't do necessarily all the time. It's kind of located right here, including payouts. Because of the fact that you don't really need it here, it's not really quick, so that's why it's currently there. Now, if you actually look at the screen, when you press payment, it's going to ask you two things: is it for here or to go? You'll press it, I guess, to go, and you'll be able to put in customer name. Now, this is totally optional; you don't have to put a customer name, but let's just put a customer name. My name is Jason, so here, Jason. And it goes directly to a payment screen right away because it's a quick serve. They pay and they go. They press credit card, you swipe the card, put the card into a PIN pad, chip got approved, and you're basically ready for the next order. Now, when you put in the order, there will be three things that will print. First thing that will print is this one is your main receipt. Second one that you will get is an order sheet. Order sheet goes usually for let me actually put it close. The order sheet actually goes towards the order, so you can probably usually they staple this on the bag so that they can pack it up. Now the third thing that a kitchen would get is the kitchen order. Now, of course, this is only one kitchen, but if this was multiple kitchens, and it only made some of the sandwiches and not all of them, you see on the bottom it also prints, and this is totally optional, it prints whatever the customers ordered. So it'll print, like, for instance, like 1 Big Mac, quarter pounder, 20 crispy chicken, all those things it'll actually print, just because it's the entire order. Now, the next thing that you will see is let's go to table. Now, the table layout is very simple. When it comes to tables, all that you need to do is select the table, punch in your code. It's gonna ask you how many guests, so you put like 2, and now it turned yellow. Now what that means is this is totally optional. You can also get rid of the option, so you go into the order mode right away. But what this does is it actually reserves the table. So some people sometimes they sit down. You usually have a hostess that you let the hostess know that. So let's go to the table section. Now this is the table section. All that you need to do is click on the table, and when you click on the table and you put how many guests there are, the table turns yellow. Now when it turns yellow, what that means is it's actually reserved. That means someone has sat down. They haven't placed the order yet, but they have sat down. That really helps your hostess if you have a big, dining room. Sometimes you might have sat someone down, or someone else might have sat someone down, and the next hostess takes a look and she sees that a table is open. She brings 3 or 4 people back, you go to the back of the room and all of a sudden that seat is already taken because we haven't placed the order yet, but they sat down. Now what this allows you to do is for servers to be able to put how many guests, or have servers or hostesses put how many guests per different table, and basically reserve that table for that they were seated. Now what you will do is you click on table, you click on order. Let's place a couple orders. Once you put all the orders in, when you press OK, in the kitchen, of course, you will see the order, the table number, the server, the order number. So they're able to make the order. Now, if you need to move tables, you click on Move Table. If you need to split the check, there's 3 ways you can split it. You can split by guest number evenly, which is by 5 people. You can split all orders. Printing it is totally optional, but as you see, there are 5 tickets. So you would actually give these 5 tickets over to your customers, and each of them basically get an even check. Now, if you made a mistake with that split, all you need to do is, all that you need to do is undo split. Now, there's another way to split the check. You can do it by menu item, which basically means you can add checks and move over items as they need be. Let's undo that again so I can show you the next function, which is to split by individual amount. This is usually when someone says, I want to pay 20 on my card and the rest on another card. Very simple. Let me undo the split. Now, there's another way to split it, a more quick way. You can even use the split calculator and just do it by 2 and split it on the fly. Or what I would usually recommend is actually split it before, of course. But if you really need to do it quickly, you can do it by 2. 1666, the first person pays cash, and then the second person pays credit card. And you can even, after you press credit card, it's going to prompt you the tips. You can either add the tips now or do not close the order, enter tips later, which basically means the table stays open, and when you're ready to close the order, like so, you go into payments and you press close order. You can add the tips like $5, the customer's left, and then you close the order. Now, you can check any open orders here. Right now there aren't any open orders, so you'll see it, but these are all the close orders are in gray. Open orders will show up as black. Now, there's different sections. You can have bar, there's actually main hall, patio. So this is all customizable to your liking. Just make sure you let us know that how many sections you would like to divide it. It can even be on one page. You can have all your entire table layout on one page. Or some people usually like to divide the bar because the bartenders don't want to see the main hall or the tables. Or the hostesses get to see everything. And the hall people don't really need to know what's going on at the bar, so they usually leave the bar out. And of course the patio or front section or outside section also. Just because during the non-holiday season, or as I would say during in the city when it gets cold, the outside seating and patio and gardens are all closed. So those sections are separate. So during the off season, you can just take it totally out. You don't have to see it. And it makes things much simple. As you see, we have table reservation functions. You have callers, drawer, and drawer just means if you want to open the drawer, of course, you have to have the manager's function. Gives you a reason. Let's just say you need change, and then it'll open the drawer. Now let's get into the bar tab function. Very simple. When you're in the bar tab function, this is more for bar tabs. You can have all your tabs, your station tabs, or my tabs, which are just tabs under my name. So let's just say you're starting a tab. You put your code. Let's just call it 4336. It's like when you actually scan a card, Scan a credit card. It's actually gonna pop out those credentials where it comes where it has to do with your last 4 digits of your card number and your last name. And the next line that's there is more designed for you to put notes. Like me, I'm the Asian guy. You can say Asian guy with glasses, blue POS sweatshirt. Of course, you won't put that many notes, but hey, if you want to. Now we're going drinking tonight, so we're gonna drink 7, actually make it 8 low-fat milk jugs and 8 low-fat chocolate milk jugs. We're getting drunk today. So basically, what you will see is, of course, you won't see any of those notes over here, which is pretty important. But you're at the bar, you're able to just run tabs and organize them accordingly. And you'll be able to find the guy. If I come back and I say, yeah, my last name is Kim, my name is Jason, you look at it and be like, okay, Asian guy with the glasses, what's your last name? And I say Kim, and then you look, you see, and it's right there. So it's very easy for you to take a look at. Now when it comes to takeout, very simple. First thing you should do is go to callers. Now the reason is we have caller ID built in. So let's just put in my phone number. Hold on. Yep, there it is. Now that's Jason. Let's call it 309 Rutledge Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11211. There it is. Now you can put memos like allergic to peanuts. And go to takeout. Now you will see that you can punch in whatever order I want, and I press OK. It's gonna give me a pickup time. So if I pick up or delivery time, if I'm doing takeout, so you can put pickup time, for instance, as maybe let's do the 6th, and let's do 6 or make it 11 a.m. And because I changed the time on it, it's going to have my phone number. It's going to have my date. Also, it's going to have what the time is if you haven't seen. So 11 a.m. pickup is at tomorrow at 11 a.m., which is pretty cool. I'll actually, no, this is not. Yeah, it's tomorrow. So also what you'll be able to do is if you go back to callers, we have, of course, now the phone number is stored. So when you see it, everything pops up. But one of the cool parts is you'll be able to go into repeat order, and you're able to see that I ordered last time 2 Big Macs, 1 quarter pounder, 2 cheeseburger, 3 double cheeseburger, 2 McChickens, and 1 grilled chicken ranch BLT. So all that you'll need to do is just select those 2 and just add those items that I wanted to order this time. Now this is very good because you'll be able to kind of talk to your customer to see what they ordered last time, and it makes it seem like you remembered the order, which is always cool. So I really recommend using that function. Of course, it's still optional, so that's totally fine. Let's see. That's the order, and all that you need to do is you can pay for it right there with cash or a credit card. Let's close this order. Or you can, of course, pay when they arrive. And the reason why it stays, the reason why the order stayed before is because sometimes people pay for it ahead of time and you don't want to really close the order or delete it. You just want to keep it open because you don't, when they arrive, you don't know if they're going to add tips to it, or you want to just see which one was picked up or not, even if it's paid. Now, when it comes to delivery, same thing. Let's just go to 000. Now, when it's a delivery, it's a little bit different. Now, you have to. This is totally optional for you to use and take advantage of. Of course, the same thing when you're delivery time. What you'll be able to do is press deliver. Basically, this is delivery driver assignment. You can select a driver, an order, and add it to an order. Basically, what that does is it routes the driver to see which one he has to drop off first, which one drop off second, things like that. And you'll be able to print delivery lists like so. So it tells you which one to deliver first. You can add whatever change you gave him. So if you gave him $15, you gave him $15. So that when he comes back with the order, you'll be able to basically say, if he returned $28, he basically got $5.41 in tips. So that kind of gives you a good idea of those ordering functions. So right now, this is the management section of the software. I'm gonna go over the main feature of our software that people like, which is the anti-theft. Now what anti-theft does is if anybody did anything out of the ordinary, now that means that maybe one of your servers deleted an item. I know that you need manager's approval, but let's just say they figured out your number or something out of the ordinary. They decide to transfer items or void payments, void orders, reprint stuff to the kitchen, give an excessive discount. Anything that is done that is out of the ordinary, even if it has manager's approval, maybe there's multiple managers, maybe there is a GM that wants to take a look at what's going on, maybe the owner wants to see what's going on when it has to do with anything. Basically, this one kind of protects the system. What you're able to do is see which one you're kind of interested in, and it's able to send out emails to a set email server for you to get, for any kind of anti-theft notifications. Second thing is, our payout function is pretty awesome. You know how a lot of restaurants have to have petty theft because they don't have a pay-in? We have a payout and pay-in function. Also, sometimes people misspell vendors. They don't really know who they are and things like that. So what you're able to do, you're able to add vendors, especially trash companies. They like cash. So usually you put trash company. You can put $30 for trash company. That makes a payout. What that does is it prints a little receipt for the employees to sign. Also, what you need to, also one of the cool parts is if you do let's just say someone needs to go buy groceries, you put $20. Let's just say you're gonna put the reason as grocery. What you're also able to do is do a pay-in after they come back. Let's just say 11:38 is the change. You would put, of course, the reason as change. And here's your pay-in as change. So what they would do is they would sign for the payout, and then they would sign for the pay-in, and staple both of those together with the receipt where they spent it. So there's actually no petty cash because you just put in the change into the register. Now the reason why we have tips in this system is mostly because sometimes you have to pay out tips for delivery services such as Uber. I know Uber Eats, not Uber Eats. For Grubhub and Seamless. So let's just say for Grubhub you decide to pay out one of your delivery drivers, and the total was $65 for the day. You would put $65, and then you would put their name. So let's just put Jason Kim, which is the delivery driver. Actually, no, let's add myself. So let's just put Jason Kim. And I guess my phone number. Yep. And then you can also put maybe my Grubhub tips, or let's just go online delivery tips. So now that I'm added, it'll just state that, that $65 was paid out to me in online delivery tips. And also, let's just say that I get wages in cash. If I get paid like half check, half cash, or all cash, really depends. But it should always be registered. Any kind of cash payments, whether it be any kind of wages, should still or any bonuses should still be registered on the system. So you can take advantage. You can always remember it and put it into your books. So let's just say you're gonna put you paid $500 as let's add myself again, Jason Kim, 7000000 online. Let's just say weekly wages. you'll be able to add any kind of wages in cash for the owner's time. So instead of just doing that or putting in the receipt book, you would actually put it here. Now, because a lot of labor lawsuits have been going on where the employees sue restaurant owners because, you know, the restaurant owners can't really prove that they were paid that sum. Now, what I recommend is, as you saw the $500 of Jason Kim's weekly wages, what you should do in this situation is do a pay-in of the same amount, same thing. So you see the pay-in, because of course the drawer needs to balance. But what you need to do in that day is go to the bank, write a check, and put cash on the check. That means you're withdrawing cash from your bank account, and put as the reason my name, my phone number, and weekly wages. Now what that does, it puts a digital imprint in your bank account, basically like a footprint, you could say. And it basically helps if somebody denies being paid. It's really good to have a record like that in the bank. You also have the record right here in the POS system. You have the pay in, and you also have the pay out, the wage advance that you're giving somebody wages for the same amount, which really helps with any kind of disputes when it comes to labor lawsuits. So I recommend doing this. It's a little bit different to have somebody that's a third party helping you out instead of trying to fight it with a receipt book. And usually receipt books are not valid in court because anybody can make up a receipt book, anybody can forge a signature, things like that. So it's good to have certain records. Now, going back to the actual time clock. We actually have an optional, but you can get fingerprints without. Now, going back to the time clock, you're basically able to manage time clocks here. What that means is if you see a time clock today, what you'll be able to do is just basically change it, add breaks, add clock. You can add times, delete it if somebody made a mistake, things like that. Also, what you're able to do is in time in and time out, you saw codes, but we also do have option for fingerprint. Now, what that does is it's totally optional, but if you do add the fingerprint, nobody can clock in or clock out without fingerprints, and that really helps in terms of your labor costs, because people can't do favors anymore. They can't say, hey, clock Jason, clock me in, or hey Jason, clock me out. It's really hard for somebody to do that. So it really helps with the with reducing labor costs, so that you're not paying for really when people are not here. Now, next thing is I'll go over employees. Adding employees is pretty simple. All that you need to do is set up security groups. The first thing that you'll set up is a security group. You can put server level 1. You can also put cashier. You can copy it over and just put more functions such as discounts or exempt tax or delete item, things like that. You can kind of give a different name and call that lead server. Things like that. So you can give him more options if you would like. And when you add an employee, you'll put Jason, last name Kim. You'll put password. Maybe you put maybe 0000. A card number. If you have employee cards, you can swipe employee cards right there. You will register fingerprints. If fingerprints are active, you click on fingerprint and register fingerprints there. You can assign security groups such as lead server. So let's just say this person is a lead server. Set up hours when I actually work. Any kind of details. You can set up security, but of course security is right now on the security group you just created. You can set up payroll type. You can do hourly or salary. If it's hourly, are they paid weekly or bi-weekly? Usually weekly. Paid on usually Wednesdays. What's your hourly rate? Is it paid? Is it $10 an hour or is it $12 an hour? If it's $12 an hour, and when I started, do I get paid breaks? Only the first hour. Do I get compensated for overtime? And of course, if I was a server doing server banking, you'll put server banking, enforced clock in or enforced draw in, auto draw in. If you want people to register their cash tips, it'll ask cash tips when I Z out, and things like that. So it really helps with organizing it. You'll be able to also see which one falls into which group. So for instance, you can go to like lead server and you see me, server level 1, or you can see none. So let's actually add this person as server level 1. So when you see lead server, you'll see me and server level 1. Now, you can also manage customers here. Now, what that means is if you want to add customers in terms of maybe an account, you'll be able to adjust that. You can have account customers. So basically, if you have an account customer, when you create a customer, you can have multiple customers under one account. So for instance, if it's JP Morgan Chase, maybe there's maybe like 20 employees that get free lunch from JP Morgan Chase at your location. Then what you're able to do is just create an account called JP Morgan Chase and have the 20 people registered to be able to pay under that one account, and it'll accumulate on this page. We also have gift certificates, of course, gift cards. You can have gift cards. You can set up inventory where you're able to add whatever you want. Let's just say that you want to add an item group called beer, and then you can add an item called Corona, and then you pay $14.99. Let's go 1 for. Let's just say you pay $14.99. Let's just say 12 beers come in one package. That means that it's about $1.25 each one. So that every time maybe somebody orders a beer named Corona, every time orders a Corona, it takes a Corona out of the inventory. You're able to also receive inventory if you click on Corona. You can set up how many packages you ordered. So let's just say you ordered 48 bottles and it arrived. You'll be able to put in 48 and receive that order. You can put purchase orders, different parts. When it comes to setup, you'll be able to add menus. Now, adding menus is pretty simple. All that you need to do is add a new category. Let's just add a new category. Let's call it beer. So add a new category. Let's call it Corona. Have it print to a different printer. You can add what kind of product it is. You can set up different ones. Set up UPC codes, kitchen memos, anything that you want. It's kind of on this option. If you want, and let's just call it, I don't know, $5. Now, if you wanted to copy it and create another item, you can just copy it straight over and call it Amstel. So this is kind of option where you'll be able to manage your menu. Now, we set up the menu for you in the beginning, so of course you won't be really messing with this option, but there are people that have used their systems at multiple locations, and the managers usually create their own menu. So when you make menu adjustments, it's very quick and easy for you to do so. So we already added 2 items, probably it only took us a minute. So it's pretty simple. Now, you'll be able to, of course, adjust tables, any kind of table layouts here. The advanced function is more advanced functions where you'll be able to, change the way it order, tax rates, any rules. If you want to charge credit cards to somebody, credit card fees, delivery fees, package fees, anything like that, you can add it here. Also, what you'll be able to do is add any adjust with kiosks. So we actually have a kiosk mode, or any kind of special pricing, which is kind of your happy hour. So you can adjust prices like to $3 during your happy hour and set which times and when those will be available. And you can also set off days. So you can even set custom off days, like a game night. If this Friday was game night, then you'll just disable all your happy hour specials, because you don't really need to have happy hour during game nights. So that's kind of what it's there for. You can even do custom labels. So if you have a label printer and you want to print labels for catering or ordering, we have full label printers over here. And That kind of covers everything. Now the next section is reports. When it comes to reports, it's very simple. Here's our basically the main report that most people will use is their sales summary. Now what that sales summary for report is it kind of breaks down different what categories you sold, what's the order type, what's the shift, some of the statistics. Most importantly, your tax summary. So how much was taxable, non-taxable sales, your cash reconciliation. You see your pay-ins, payouts, expected deposits, things like that. And of course, your labor summary: who clocked in, who clocked out, how many hours they worked, and any kind of payouts that were made during the day. So you'll be able to see how many deletes there were, how many voids there were, if there were any. So it kind of covers everything that you need. Another one that a lot of people like is your labor summary. What this labor summary does is it breaks down every day what time they clocked in and clocked out, so you can see if it's normal, and they'll give you exactly how much wages they earned, etc. So it kind of gives you a good estimate how much tips they earned, how much transactions they did. So you can also check on the credit cards. If they did $300 a transaction, you're estimating maybe they made, I don't know, they're a great staff member, maybe they made 18% as tips on average. So you'll see that they made 18%. But if you see somebody only make 10%, maybe they're asking for cash, something's not right. Maybe they're not doing their service right, you want to take a look. But if somebody has, like, I don't know, 50 or 60% tips, maybe they're padding their tips, you want to just double check. So that's why that's there. There's different reports. You can go to payments, look at all the payment transactions, customers, get information on customers, get information on employees. Did they do something wrong? What is their server summary? Just to take a look at what happened, everything that a server did. Now, if a server forgot to, if a server wants to double check their numbers, they can always go to server summary, and which shows basically their orders, their payment, everything. So you'll be able to see details on their shift, which is always great. And of course, you can set up a report emailing service where they report emails. We also have online access, so if you really want your reports online, so we do upload your reports. Now we do need at least like a month of your data for us to upload it, but once you have a month, we're able to put your reports online. Now right now it's free because it's in beta, but it will be at cost in the future because it is hosted on a private domain. So just for your space, we're asking for some payment, but that will be determined in the future. But it's free now, so might as well take advantage. And that concludes our current demo. I know this is actually a brief demo. I might have seemed a little bit long. I tried to cover as much as I could so that I wanted to answer as many questions as possible. But we do have a lot more functions than I covered and a lot more features. I just went over briefly just to show you what we have. If you want a more in-depth information, just feel free. Email me at Jason, Jason, at posblue.com. That's P as in Peter, O as in Oscar, S as in Sam, blue.com. And I'll be able to answer any further questions you have, or reach out to your salesperson. They'll be able to also help you. And that's it. Well, thank you for your time. And again, this is Blue POS. My name is Jason Kim. And thank you for looking at our product demo. Hopefully our team can help you with your POS solution and we can move forward. Thank you very much.